It is our show. It's our
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. I mean, I'll start when I want to start. Like, don't push me. Don't like come at me like, yo, bro. It's like 5 minutes after. I'm not. Wait. You can wait for
Why
this
can't you wait?
quality
And they
content.
say,
I mean, you're not going to get this kind of quality content like anywhere else right now on a Saturday night.
I like to think that everybody gets their money's worth. That's for sure.
I get my money's worth, and I get to talk to you. I get to
pinned
see
it.
your beautiful face. Oh,
I don't know about
wonderful.
that. Are you wearing a Millie Club t-shirt?
No, I'm not. I'm wearing a Roan t-shirt, little stretchy workouty kind of shirt.
Why can't I see the comments? There we go.
Ooh,
Facebook
what's
user, as
up?
usual, always here on time. What's up, fella? What is up, fella? Hey, Jake, somewhere around month 6. I don't know weeks because I actually I don't surrender to that crap. Somewhere around 6 months, you'll be able to play music on your phone and lay it on your wife's belly, and the baby will kick and dance to the music. It's pretty freaky. Have 2 phones because you're gonna want to video it.
Oh, yeah. I didn't do that.
It's pretty awesome. Charlotte liked Beatles stuff with a strong backbeat. So like early Beatles, she didn't like later Beatles. She wanted the backbeat. And that part,
Okay.
she, then she was cool. Mark Maroney's checking in with a Lynch shirt.
Nice.
Facebook user is here. Another Facebook user is here. N. Conway says, good evening. Hello, N.
Well, how formal.
N. Conway.
I
Right
got to teach
honorable
Camden. I've been trying to teach Camden the difference between like morning and like afternoon and evening and nighttime. Because right now everything is morning time until it's dark out and that's nighttime. Like no,
Right.
it's more complex than that. Like it's still morning time. We can't go to bed. Like it's not been morning time for a long time. Yeah, it's like 7
Then you have
o'clock.
to untangle that. Like, well, why is it bedtime if it's still light out? It's like
I'm excited that it's starting to get dark earlier because he told me what his bedtime was the other day. He goes, well, my bedtime's 10 o'clock. And I'm like, don't go around telling people that your bedtime's 10 o'clock because just because it's true, you're not supposed to be up that late. You little silly.
that's a late evening for that young man.
I often walk into my bedroom and Kim will be asleep in bed and Cameron will just be sitting there chilling, watching Nick Jr. on the TV. Like, hey, go sleep.
Yep. Got a lot of people not logged into Facebook, so there must have been an update or something. When you find the post in the group and you want to join us in the live stream, you have to click a little box that gives Facebook permission to use your likeness while you're using StreamYard. I guess you're
It
giving
might have
StreamYard
been
permission.
because I just reconnected it to the group. I had to click that reconnect button.
Oh,
So it might have
it
been
could be
us
it.
resetting it. Yeah.
Might have wiped it out. Tom, do you have a beverage this evening?
I'm quite tired today, so I'm enjoying some coffee, which I'll regret later because then I won't be able to sleep tonight. But to give you guys the show you deserve, I need a little caffeine. I don't know if this is like a dark roast or a French roast. I don't know anything about roasts. I know this is Pete's coffee, and that's my wife says is good, so I go with it. I'm not a coffee snob too much, but it tastes good.
Pete's used to be a really small roaster and coffee shop in Chicago, and then they became a rather large brand, and now it's available coast to coast. It's good.
Oh,
It tends to be really bold roasted.
It's good. It doesn't have a funky flavor. That's all that matters to me.
My daughter had a softball game today. Went an hour and a half in the stinking hot heat, and no shade.
No.
Other than at one point, I got up, went to the car, and got some umbrellas, and that was better. But I'm noticing my lips are a little burned.
Ooh.
I haven't been smooching. Adam had to redo the thing. Vic, you didn't miss anything. We're just yapping. Sean's here. Jake has to hit the button every time he comes to the stream. Yeah. Birra tacos are among the best. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, they're extra succulent. That was my night last night. I was like, hey, it's 1 a.m. I should start a movie. So I watched Step Brothers last night.
Yeah.
And my favorite line is when they're like saying, what about this? What about this? And they go, do we just become best friends? Yep. That's the best part of the movie. It's when they become best friends, when they realize they're so much the same.
I think I've watched There Will Be Blood 100 times, but I haven't seen Step Brothers.
Oh, that says a lot about your personality. That's an intense movie.
It's amazing.
Although it's got milkshakes in it. I like milkshakes. Milkshakes are in there.
It's more of a metaphorical milkshake, not a virtual, not an actual milkshake.
It reminds me of real milkshakes. That's all that matters.
Well, that reminds me, I need to prioritize my laptop on my Wi-Fi so that I don't get all glitchy. Do I want to take a survey? No, I do not.
When they go on an interview, when they go on an interview wearing tuxedos for a janitorial job, it's something to behold. It's very magical, Jason. You got to put it on your list. I mean, I know you tell me to watch movies. For once, I'm telling you, you got to watch a movie.
I've watched way more movies in the last 10 days than you have.
I'm sure you have. Oh, I'm sure.
I just haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
The Tarantino movie that I always want to watch is never available. So then I mollify my desire by watching all the rest of them that are available, and it just doesn't really scratch it. So
see, you're just a little older than me, so you were like of age when Tarantino movies started coming out, because like Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction and stuff, I was just a wee little lad when those came out, so they weren't really in my wheelhouse of things that I was like really into.
I went with my friends to opening night of Pulp Fiction, and we sat literally front row because it was the last seats available in the place. And when the drug dealer guy takes the EpiPen and stabs her in the chest, I thought the whole theater was going to shit itself. It was just, it was the most I've ever seen a theater of people be excited about a thing until the Millennium Falcon showed up in that new terrible Star Wars movie. Like when they revealed that, everybody woohooed. But yeah, when he stabbed her in the with the EpiPen, it was amazing. May not have been EpiPen. It might have just been, I don't know, whatever he stabbed her with.
Or whatever it is, adrenaline or something.
Yeah, adrenaline. It was an overdose shot, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was unbelievable. But yeah, since then, been hooked. But yeah, all I want to watch is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but right now it's not streaming for free anywhere. I think it's on HBO or something. But so now I'm watching all the rest of them that I've watched 900,000 times.
I'm gonna put that down on my notes. Is watch some Tarantino movies, because I haven't seen that many really. I've seen Django Unchained a ton of times. That's like the only. Yeah,
Django's good.
That one's legit.
Inglorious is good, but weird in places.
Yeah,
like it drags at times. Kill Bill 1 and 2 is still my favorite. That fight scene with the Crazy 88s where she's got the samurai sword and the Crazy 88s are coming at her and she takes them all out and it's just a bloodbath. That is so well done. And then he always puts one long Steadicam shot in most of his movies. I don't know if it's all, but most of them get one long Steadicam shot. And the Steadicam shot in Kill Bill is unbelievable because I think it goes through several different rooms. It pans down over a giant bandstand and then downstairs and then over another wall and into a bathroom and then back out again. And it's about 3.5 minutes of camera movement while everything's choreographed and it doesn't cut. And they did it all in one shot. It's amazing.
You are just a film connoisseur. I pale in comparison. I'll pick up on those things.
Somebody was dropping some Hattori Hanzo references recently. It was pretty funny. I don't know. I can't remember where I saw it now. Paul is here. Four Rooms is 3.5 terrible stories. It's not very good.
Is that what? I don't know what that one is.
It's a movie about a hotel, and 4 directors each got to take 25 minutes of the movie. So it's kind of not great. The Tarantino part is not as good as the Robert Rodriguez part. Yeah, Ryan from The Office is in it, Tom.
I know. That I know.
The Germans call him the small man.
BJ
I'm the small man?
His name.
I'm the small man? Yeah. Bill's speech about Superman is that's a really, really good part at the end of the movie where, Beatrix is up against Bill. She's finally tracked Bill down. That's almost as good, by the way, at Conway, as the part where she's talking to the Mexican pimp. That's the best part. She's sitting across from him, and he's like, "What? What are we talking about?" And she stares right at him, and it takes all her energy to go, "Bill, where's Bill?" Like she can barely say his name. That part's awesome. I'll watch that over and over.
I'm gonna have to get deeper into this world now.
I need to make a yellow and black Millie too. I've decided I need a Hattori Hanzo Millie too.
Oh, okay.
Nobody do that first. I'm going to do it first. Kill Bill 2. Kill Bill 2, I don't like as much as 1, but 2 is really good. 2 is more talky, less murder.
Oh, you got to have lots of murder.
Murder is nice.
Butts in the seats.
Who would be the Hattori Hanzo of the knife world? It would have to be our own Sean Houston, spelled Nwatut.
Oh.
I think he would be Hattori Hanzo. I 100% know his name, but I'll never not refer to him as Ryan from The Office. I agree.
Yeah. His genius is that he made his character so hateable in The Office, but he was the one that was writing how hateable he was going to be.
I never thought of him as hateable. I found him to be relatable because he was like the outside, like, are you kidding me? He was the only one that really seemed to understand the craziness of the place.
True. He does evolve into a more dislikable character as the show goes on.
I liked how much he would tolerate Kelly, but not really like Kelly. That was pretty good. So Raymond, refresh my memory on the mule. The T15 has come out, isn't that right? And the Rex 75 has come out.
K294. K294. Okay. Yes.
So guys, here's what you need to know. Every time a steel company invents a steel, there you go. Every time a steel company invents a steel, the other steel companies will copy the formula. So you can think of it like soda pop. So you have cola sodas, right? You have Pepsi and you have Coke, right? And really, honestly, in the end, they're very similar in the way that they taste. They're very similar in the way that they're made. They're both cola, right? So whether you get one or the other, they're pretty darn similar, right? And they're different from Mountain Dew, for example. But there's also other knockoffs of Mountain Dew. So when it comes to blade steels, what you'll see is that you'll have like European steels, you'll have American steels, and they're actually kind of similar. If you look up 294 on that knife alloy chart that we like so much, and you compare it to 10V, it's exactly the same as 10V. Now, if you compare K390 to 10V, you'll notice they're slightly different. So that you can think of 294 as being European 10V. So the factory that makes it will tell you that theirs is better because they use 3rd generation particle metallurgy. Ooh. So they pulverize it and then they blast it and then they melt it and then they pulverize it and blast it again and then they melt it again and they say that theirs is smoother.
Fluff it up and they flick it.
Right. But I've not had anybody like Laren Thomas say that, Dr. Laren Thomas say that it's better because of that 3rd process. So it's European 10V, and 10V is a badass steel. So I recommend getting it if you want a tough, high edge retention mule.
Is your Instagram name InstaG69? Because InstaG69 commented on my post about the mule, which drops on Tuesday at 9 Mountain. Basically what you just said, it's almost a chemical clone of 10V, semi-stainless, marginally better edge retention to K390 at the same hardness. minus K390 minus the cobalt and the tungsten. Basically, it says basically the same as 10B.
Yeah.
Which is a great thing.
When M4 was invented, tungsten was the best carbide that you could add. But since then, they've figured out that vanadium is better than tungsten.
Ooh.
And in fact, taking the tungsten out sometimes helps with edge stability, because I guess when tungsten forms in the blade matrix, it's big carbides.
Chocolate
whereas,
chips.
Yeah, it's big. Think of it as big hunks of tungsten that are stuck inside the steel, but the tungsten is harder than the steel, so the tungsten can actually tear out. So vanadium's better because it's smaller. That's the way it was explained to me. You want very, very high hardness, small carbides in your steel to make the edge durable, but also have high edge retention. Toughness compared to 15V, it's going to be higher than 15V. 15V is relatively low on a toughness scale. I think Sean Houston has adequately proven that it's tough enough for the uses that any of us are going to need it for. But objectively, 15V is less tough than most steels. And basically, guys, the way you can know for sure is the higher the edge retention goes, the lower the toughness is going to go. There's no such thing as high tough, high hard. It's not out there.
If you ever want to see him demonstrate it, just go ahead and make a comment about toughness on the group, and he will prove it to you, and he'll make a video and post it.
Tell him it's a baby steel, and you'll get to watch him chop down an oak tree with it the hard way.
Yes.
Yeah. He's got some legit videos that are pretty convincing to me. Like if you take a copper rod and you're whittling it and chipping at it with your edge, and it doesn't break the edge, that's tough enough in my world for cutting up an eBay box.
I don't like that idea, but it's true.
I didn't say one tastes better than the other. I said that they're similar, right?
I mean, in the grand scheme of life, they're similar, but really, they're different. You can tell the difference, but they're the same damn thing.
If I poured 10 glasses of Mountain Dew and 10 glasses of Mellow Yellow and you sipped all 10, I don't know that you'd be able to get all of them right, even though they taste a little different, right? They're similar enough that you're going to have a hard time. So that's also true with these blade steels. But we've done it before where we've shown 204P and M390 and 20CV, and you stack all the charts on top of each other, and they all contain the same percentage of atoms by mass, right? So that means they're the same. And with 294 and 10V, that's kind of what you see. The point is that Tasty Cake makes an apple pie and Hostess makes an apple pie. They both offer apple pie, right? And the apple pie is different than the blueberry pie.
Well, if you want this K294 mule, it's dropping on Monday on the Spyderco.com at 9 Mountain. I would guess this won't be a website shutter downer, so you shouldn't freak out too much, but it'll be available for some amount of time.
Yeah, now we got a Coke versus Pepsi argument going on. Pepsi just isn't better. It doesn't contain real cola flavor. Only Coca-Cola has real cola flavor. They're the only one. In fact, what they did was Tom, are you aware of this? The Coca-Cola company had the law written, so they're the only ones that are allowed to import cocoa leaves.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. Everybody else has to fake it with a chemical. So only they have the ability to do that, because you know what else you can make with cocoa leaves? Cocaine.
What? I never heard that before.
Yep. So they're the only ones that are allowed to do it. So if you want legit cola flavor, got to go to Coke.
Have you seen the documentary on, I forget what it's on, about Pepsi, and like they're giving away the fighter jet in the early 90s, and they have the advertisements where you could win a Harrier if you get like 7 million points or whatever, Coca-Cola points, Pepsi points.
Yeah, their advertisement said that you could win a Harrier jet if you got enough points. So a couple of guys
someone got enough points.
Yeah, and then they wouldn't pay up.
No.
There's a great singer-songwriter named Todd Snyder, and he's got a song that's about being a sad bastard teenager and just what it's like to be a loser, sad bastard teenager, right, Tom? And he's got a verse that goes, I got this feeling that my stepmom hates me. That gold digger's got a worthless bone. She stays drunk on rum and Pepsi, man. She never noticed if I'm not home. So he's making fun of her for drinking rum and Pepsi. Like, no one would drink that.
That is kind of,
That's like last resort stuff, right? That's just making do with what you got. Oh, speaking of what you got there, Tommy?
so I don't get a lot of new things, but this is something that I've wanted for a very long time. This is a Koenig Mini Arius. For size reference, there's a full size Arius. Here's a mini Arius. It's the exact same size as a pair of 3. Pretty much identical size to a pair of 3. I pre-ordered this last August, and it's now August again, so a year ago. And I've handled Krista's before, and it was obviously cool, but there's a big difference between handling someone's knife and getting your own knife and getting to monkey around with it and flick it and do whatever, like not worry about like messing someone else's knife up. I really instantly love this thing. It has a different, very different feel than the full size Arius. Like even the noise is different. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful knife. It really is. It lives up to the hype. I completely approve of this knife to a point where I know I'm keeping it, so I put an edge on it. It's a wonderful knife. It's just if you like the Arius and wish it was the size of a pair of 3, they made it, and I couldn't ask for much else. Like right now, my collection, I've always had a good collection, but I feel like I'm 100% satisfied. There's nothing else on my radar that I really want or need enough to have to buy now. Like this completes a big piece of like I wanted this, and now I feel free. I feel free from having to chase stuff. It's like so I want.
Yeah, I'll talk to Bill about doing an XL Arius. That would be pretty badass. The Houston
really
Burnett
good
size Arius.
It'd have very good acoustics opening up an XL area. So boom.
I know it would just go sound like an owl flying over top of you. Sean Reese says he loves the Mini. It's the perfect size. Brad Caldwell says it's the perfect size. Carl says free until the next thing. It's true, sir.
It's true, but if they come up with something that's as good as this or an Oz or a Sliz Bowie, I'll be all on board. But those kind of knives only come along once every few years. Something that's that special to me. So this is a winner.
The Arius is possibly one of the most perfect knife designs out there. And then the fact that it's now just a little bit smaller to accommodate another sized hand is amazing. So now you can get the full size or you get the Mini. It's pretty killer.
And if you guys have never handled a Koenig, do yourself a favor. It doesn't have to be a Mini. Handle a Koenig, just and examine it and how it's put together and how well it's done. Bill Koenig is a master knife maker, and he's like kind of like 29, I think, and he's already figured this out. So he's got a lot of career left, but he's going to keep on coming out with cool stuff, I hope. It's amazing that it's just amazing. All the detail, how everything's contoured, how it just fits together perfectly, how its hand fits, so the lockup's perfect. There's no stick, and it flicks perfect, and everything.
There's 200 knife companies in this world, guys, that if you handed them an Arius $1 million in 3 years and said, duplicate this knife, they wouldn't be able to. Like that, Bill is a genius when it came to that knife. It's so well done. And to do it at the price he's charging is crazy. I will stand by that. Nobody makes a better knife for less money in terms of skill and difficulty, right? Like being able to pull off the things that are in that knife, it's very hard to do, especially at scale. Like they're making thousands of knives a year and they're all consistently excellent. That's very, very hard.
And part of the cool, like when me and Jason went and visited him, you really get it. It's not just like it's a cool design and it's well made. Yes, but Koenig's attention to detail and process and like manufacturing, like perfecting the manufacturing process is part of what I love about it. He's always trying to make it better. It's like if there's a better way to do something, there's a better way to grind something or CNC or whatever. He's always looking for that next thing to like make a better product. And it's a family business. It's him, his sister, a couple other guys. His brother and mom help sell knives at the show. But it's a small little family business that makes amazing, amazing knives.
I'm pretty sure there's a husband-wife working there too.
Oh, that's right. Yes, there is.
Right. So we're talking about that is definitely cool. That small mom and pop family feel is great. I see something here in the comments we should talk about. Anybody get into the Kunwu lineup yet? So I have. I have one, and they're really good. They're really, really good. They're extremely well designed. The price range is really affordable, and the owner of Kunwu, Sergio, is going to be joining the group soon, and we hope to have him on the show. Last I talked to him, he was getting ready to go to China to visit the manufacturer, and he was going to broadcast from there, which I thought was pretty badass.
Oh, nice.
So you might also know Sergio because he is the boyfriend of Countess Anne, who has been making our club hanks for a minute. So those two know each other, which is funny.
Yeah.
But he's sending me a couple new knives to check out in the next few weeks, and I'm excited to get them. So one of them is actually available left-handed. So some things you'll notice in the line is that many of them are ambidextrous. If they're not ambidextrous, then they're definitely they're available left-handed. He does a lot of Vanex. He does a lot of he does a new blade steel Tom, and I haven't heard of. And right now I can't think of the name of it, but it's a really cool blade steel that nobody else seems to be using. It's like MT60 or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, really interesting designs. Those are made by an OEM factory in China and then imported to, they go into Serbia, and then from there they're sold to the US. I recommend checking out their Facebook group. They got a good Facebook group. Man, the comments are just pouring in tonight. Holy cow.
Loving it. Loving it.
Brad Caldwell says that the Rosie is 300,000 times better than the full-sized Arius to actually carry and use. Shruggy face. All right, Brad. He also likes Pepsi, everybody. He says Pepsi's better, and he likes chemicals. So
these are both really good knives. If I had to choose one, it'd be tough. They're of equal quality knife. This one's more complex to make. I will say that. This is a more skilled build than this. They're both fantastic, but this is contoured and it's got more to it going on. But nothing wrong with an Oz at all.
No, Oz's are great. They're both very nice, and also Oz is a family business. So
yeah.
Let's see, Kunwu, which is they were made anywhere but China. Well, that's the rub, right? There's not a lot of places you can go. We can go to Seki City, see how that goes. You can go to Solingen,
but they were made here.
You can go to Solingen. Everybody, like if you like Boker quality, then you Solingen. If you like Seki City Spyderco, then you go there. If you like
you have Maniago, Italy.
You got Italy. If you're down with the inconsistencies that you find in a giant mouse.
Yeah.
Right. So everybody's kind of got a flaw. Another thing is a lot of these contract manufacturers are extremely busy, and it's very hard to get in there. I'm told that the Italy factory is not like, it's not even approachable. If Tom and I had a bag of cash and a knife design, they probably wouldn't take us on because they're just busy. Brian Tidd loves the Padre. He's been sending me pictures of it. Yep. Fug wants one.
Nice.
There you go. The steel's called PM60. Look it up on the knife steel chart. It's pretty sweet.
Did you get anything new and exciting?
Hmm.
You always surprise me. You're always like, oh, and then there's this little thing.
No, but I did buy. I'm excited about this. I bought a Damasteel Synapse XL.
Oh, I
It's in the
knew
mail.
you bought something. I couldn't remember what it was. That's pretty
Yeah.
dope.
Pretty excited about it. Although now I have 3 Synapse XLs and I need to sell one. So if anybody wants a DLC Synapse XL, hit me up. I'll make you a good deal.
I
I
mean,
just don't
it's
need 3
like
times.
multiples, but yeah, I don't think you need that many multiples of a Synapse XL.
I don't need 3. No. But I wanted the Dama. Like I've got a pretty decent little Dama thing going right now. I've got a Dama Jaeger M, and I've got a Dama what is it, Raiden.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of fun having like more than one of those. You fan them out, look at them, touch them. Facebook users asking about Taichung. I know Cold Steel makes things in Taichung. I've also been told that the Spyderco Taichung factory, they're independently owned, but they only have one customer. So there must be more than one Taichung knife factory. So that would be interesting. Find out who's making Cold Steel stuff and take it there. I will say, guys, like, let's be pragmatic for a minute. We're not going to change global politics by not buying Chinese-made knives. What you can do is you can support American makers and you can buy those knives, but you're not going to change China's global economic policy by boycotting their knives, which is not big enough. So I had to tell my wife the other day, Tom, that throwing her plastic water bottles into the recycle bin virtually guarantees that they're going to end up in the ocean. They aren't recycled.
Yeah.
So for the last 20 years, you felt like you were doing the right thing. You weren't doing the right thing. It's time to let them go in the landfill or don't buy them. Right. That's kind of where we're at. Like you're not gonna change the world by thinking you're by the do-goodery of recycling a plastic water bottle. It's not going to actually cause any recycling to happen. Sadly, we've been lied to for a long time about that. So, anyway, now she's faced with where's she going to get her sparkling water at Costco if not in the bottles? For God's sake, it comes in bottles. I think we should fill them with Drano and foil and blow up mailboxes, but she said no. That's what I would do. Man, you guys are on another level with comments tonight. Tom, you're having an anniversary?
It was yesterday, my 11-year wedding anniversary, which makes me feel older than thinking about how old I am, is thinking about how much of my life my wife has been a part of. So we've known each other since I was 21, so 18 years now. And Kim is a absolutely incredible woman. She supports us. I stay at home and watch the kids and sharpen knives and do my pretend stuff, and she is just busting her butt. And she's just a hardworking, amazing, funny, beautiful woman. Like I've been doing a lot of thinking about because I always get the same jokes every time. Like, oh, someone married up. Oh, look at that, blah blah blah. And it's true, I did. But I've really been thinking about lately everything that I have gone through with my wife to get to where we are today, to get to be a happily married couple with 2 amazing kids. It almost didn't happen. It almost didn't happen because like I was a mess of a person. I'm still trying to repair myself. But she put up with a lot of shit, a lot of shit, a lot of bad stuff. She saw that there was some possibility there with me, obviously, but she grew me up, and I almost lost her. So that's really important to me, that now reflecting back on how I've changed to make sure that we can make this last forever. That's kind of what I've been reflecting on a lot lately, is just like what I've done to help make sure this doesn't take my role in this, make sure I step up to the plate. So she's amazing. And she was there when I was heavy drinker, when I was chewing Copenhagen, when I was doing all sorts of ridiculous stuff, when I was an asshole, when I was stressed out, when I've had bipolar episodes, when I just was rude. Like, she's gone through a lot with me, and now I couldn't be happier with my family. I don't know. It's just a lot of reflecting lately. Since I quit smoking weed, I've been doing a lot of thinking about how my mental health and all these things have affected me, and um, I'm in a good place now. But it wasn't always happy, and I don't know. I'm just very proud of where we are now.
She is amazing, and you are lucky. You're lucky every day. You're lucky that she stuck with you.
Yeah,
You're lucky that she didn't just say, you know what, I don't need this anymore. So it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Congratulations. 11 years is a long time.
one
Just
thing
don't
I
take it.
will say, if you are in a situation where you're not quite as close to your significant other, or you're having issues, we went to marriage counseling, and so I went to therapy, individual therapy, and within a couple of weeks, my therapist was like, "You also need to go to couples therapy separately." And that, I think a lot of people are terrified of that idea of going to therapy at all, but especially going to couples therapy. For me, it saved my marriage. So don't be afraid of it. If you are in a situation where you're just not communicating the right way, it's a really good way to help bridge that gap. So marriage
It also
counseling,
doesn't take a lot. It also doesn't take a lot to feel a difference. So
yeah,
it's funny. A couple visits, and you're like, oh wow, I have a lot of things to work on.
yeah. You get homework. You're like, oh, you realize pretty quickly it's like they're not teaming up on me. I'm the asshole.
Right.
Oh,
You're not the victim.
I thought I was going into it. I was wrong.
Yep. Going back through the comments here. I think we're caught up. Yeah. Let's see. I'm feeling pretty good about my sharpening skills lately. I've been getting better and better about it. I'm still finding that I'm cowardly when I'm doing a heel removal on a PM2 or a Para 3. Like I'm almost done. I'm 95% done. And then when I'm
Yeah,
finished with the knife and I look at it, I realize it didn't go long enough on the roughest stone, and it really pisses me off because you you spend 2/3 of your time on your course's stone, and you spend 1/3 of your time on all the rest of the stones together, right? But you realize, like, I got to go back to the 80 grit, and I got to hit it again because
yeah,
it's the only way to get there. So that part's super annoying, but yeah, I've definitely gotten better and better at sharpening, and it's definitely fun. Like lately, I've been on a kick where if I'm going to carry it, I'm probably going to sharpen it. So,
yeah.
I did my Millie 2. I did my 15V. I got in my pocket. Look at that
That's
mirror,
good.
dude. Look at that mirror.
That's good.
Yeah, man. So it's just fun to be able to pull out a knife and show somebody and have them just go, holy shit, this thing's dangerous. And you're like, yeah, it's really dangerous. I cut through the moon with it. Watch out. Yeah. So this one, look at that.
Ooh, good job. It's I don't know. Once you have done enough heals, they stop being scary, and you realize that it just works. If you have the right stones and the right equipment, you just it does the work for you. You're not. It's not like you have to be super focused. You just have to pay attention and not overdo it, which is takes some effort to overdo it. But if you're watching, it's not a big deal.
I've got a Sliz Bowie here that's not mine that I'm working on for a friend, and this edge is total dog shit. It's got that classic. It's funny with Spyderco's, like one side of the edge is almost always fine, and then the other side almost always has a really messed up part here. And what I think what's happening is I think that the final sharpen is being done by hand, and I think whoever it is, it's like drawing it across the sharpener. I think they're better one way than the other, which would make sense because like right-handed people, they can't use their left hand at all. You guys are worthless. So
No.
I think they're pulling it right-handed and then they're switching it to their left hand, and that's when they're jacking up that side of the blade. But I don't think I can give this back in good conscience without fixing this edge. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's a 17 degree all the way along, and then here it becomes like 27.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it just bit it too hard. So I think I have to fix it.
The one thing I'll say about Spyderco edge is like I haven't experienced that many that are drastically too far off side to side. They're not impossible to fix, but I've been sharpening some stuff like I did a Vero yesterday, and it was so easy and quick. And just to do those little tiny little bevels compared to like a Spyderco 17 degree edge, it's a big bevel. You realize how fast you can burr an edge if it's just a little guy and more consistent from the factory. Any cool drops coming up? There is a little native drop at Rec on Monday at noon, I think. That's the only drop I'm aware of that's coming up in the immediate future besides the mule.
Lots of moon talk. Paul knows the moon. Brad wants to know if we'd eat the moon if it was made of spare ribs. That's the dumbest fucking question I've ever read, Brad. A shame on you. Yes. Yeah, I would. We all would. Who doesn't like spare ribs? Yeah, we'd all just eat it. You knew the answer as you typed it. Yeah. So the mule, guys, you're gonna want to make sure your Spyderco account is up to date. Make sure you can log in before the drop day. Make sure you're good there. If it's not, make sure you contact IT, I guess. I don't know. Make sure your password works, and then you can buy it. Oh, it must be some hip movie reference. Is it from Brother-in-Law? What's it called?
No,
Step
it's a
Brothers?
Will Ferrell reference. It's a Will Ferrell reference. I think it's from
It's a Will Ferrell
SNL.
reference.
SNL reference.
Oh, I thought okay. Shame on me. Freyden Lock Native 5. You savages are just all about your natives lately. You know that's like a $350 knife, right? Marble carbon fiber native 5. It's gonna be hella expensive.
You take native and just add $50 to whatever PM2 is, and that's how much it's going to be.
You're next, Honky. I just gave up on the Spyderco drop from Spyderco. The second sale has injured me greatly. Yeah. Didn't go so good. Didn't go so good.
No.
It's kind of hard. I'm surprised I don't know. Do dealers have any inventory left between the second sale and then the map holiday? And then on top of that, we've got the what else? The discontinued list. Like that's a lot of stuff.
I keep on telling people, like, someone asked me, like, oh, I'm just going to buy this at HQ. Like, no, wait, you should buy it from a dealer that's part of the group, like Rec or DLT or Cutlery Shop or Freydon. And I keep on going to all those websites, and everything I keep on suggesting is sold out recently. So they move some inventory for sure.
And they have to.
Yeah.
Definitely. You want us to wax poetic about the Sage 5 lightweight? That won't be hard. First of all, it's not a lightweight, guys. And I know some of you are like, you're lightophobic, maybe, where you think that lightweight means junk. That's a full line knife, and they're badass. First, it's a compression lock. What else do we like, Tom?
I like that when Eric approached Tai Chung about making the Sage 5 lightweight, he said, you guys will make this so every single one of them out of the box drops shut. And my new recommendation over the last couple of years for the first Spyderco everyone should get is a Sage 5 lightweight, because it doesn't have, I love the Para 3. Love the Para 3. But what happens when you get Para 3? Oh, this one's got shitty action, or, oh, the screws can back out. Just all the little foibles that go along with the Para 3 or an American made Spyderco, just like maintaining them. A Sage 5 comes out of the box perfect. Your screws aren't going to back out. You're going to have perfect action. You're not going to have any lock stick, and it's going to have ideal ergonomics for an EDC knife in a super lightweight design with the best FRN. So it's FRN with liners, so it's not all flexible, but the quality of the FRN from Tai Chung is much higher than especially the Para 3 lightweight, and it's much higher than stuff from Seiki. It just feels quality. It doesn't feel cheap and shitty.
So Christopher Watts says it looks cheap. I would see your point, except the Tai Chung is better. It's really good looking. The pattern is really good looking. The fit and finish is nice. It doesn't have the mold lines around the outside. Just a better construction. So this one has the Thai nitride. This has the Thai nitride coating on M4. I'm told Thai nitride is really good for drill bits, but on a knife, it's a little bit of a mystery. But it looks cool, don't it?
It does look badass, and there will be more of these coming in different variants. Mine has Parson Bladeworks scales on it that Vic Wu sent me, which really take it from not even being close to a lightweight to just a Sage 5 with titanium scales. So yeah, that's the knife that I suggested Ted get first, and it like sucked him deep down the Spidey hole after he had a Sage. Insatiable.
It's the knife that made him a knife nut.
Knife that made him a knife nut. This is the knife that will sell you. If you want to get someone sold, it's a good knife to bring him into the hobby.
During that dark 9-week nightmare where I worked at a knife store, I showed off the lightweight Sage a lot to people, and it would definitely change people's opinions really quick. Like they would play with this knife and go, okay, I understand what you're saying now. Like just being able to do this out of the box is pretty cool.
Yeah, and they all do that. You know who's been posting a lot of stuff lately? Is Jeff Loffer has been kicking it. He's been flexing his collection muscle.
Yeah, he has.
He's been like, hey, do you guys want to see something that came out before you were born? Boom. Posting it. He's been all sorts of cool stuff out of the archives lately.
Like this one?
Yeah, like that one. 001 Collector Club.
Someone tell fuck. Yeah, this one's cool. I should sharpen this one and really like break the internet. Maybe I'll anno it.
Today he's posted, maybe that was on, I don't know if it was on our group or the Cutlery Shop group. He posted the Spidey wrench, which is really intriguing to me. It's a really cool design.
It's among the worst things ever
I'm
made.
sure it's not great, but it's neat. It's something I could see Rich Cox collecting, kind of thing, like a piece of the Spyderco history. He posted Terrazula. He posted a couple other things. It's just neat to see how much knives have improved. Nothing wrong with those knives, but it shows you how far this brand has come, and they're not stuck on the past like a $110 forever.
Imagine Sydney Sweeney is sitting. Now, let's use Scarlett Johansson. So let's say Scarlett Johansson is sitting at a cafe and she's looking beautiful. And then Philip Swincher walks up to her and asks her out on a date. And she laughs and says, no, thank you. Right. And then we all look at Swinch and we're like, dude, that took some balls. Nice job. You failed, but we're proud of you. Right. That's kind of my opinion on the Spidey wrench. It's like, I'm impressed they tried. It's a hell of an idea. I love the concept, but man, I had one for a while and it was really rough. Like you couldn't hold it without it falling apart. Me. Oh, wait. Where's
Ooh,
that?
dupes,
Oh.
double.
Oh no. He's got the blue one. Oh, he's got the blue one too.
How many more of those are there? There's only one.
So far. I mean, that's all. Why would there be
Yeah.
more? You know, this Lisboa is funny to me, Tom. I carry it for a while and then I stop carrying it. And what happens to me is like 4 months will go by and I won't carry it.
Yeah.
And then I'll reach in the drawer and I'll go, I think I'm going to carry it today. And by the end of the day, I'm like, why don't I carry this knife all the time?
It's a really freaking good knife.
Really freaking good knife.
It's not just by like the standards of when this came out in like 10 years ago or 8 years ago or whatever. It's still one of the best designs they've ever made. Might be the
Not
best
too
design.
big, not too small. Yeah, Scarlet Switcher. The more I think about this, the more I'm throwing up in my mouth. I don't like it anymore.
One thing I wanted to share, inspired by Jeff's post, is this. So,
Ooh,
if you want
Spidey
to see
Wiki.
the rich history of all things that are Spyderco, this website, SpideyWiki.com, which was, I don't know the exact situation, but started up, worked on by our own moderator, Dan Tan, who has been a long time, deep collector. This is SpideyWiki.com. And we talked about SKUs before, the product number. You go to C SKUs. That's what you're going to want. That's clip it. So any knife with a clip is a C SKU. And here is a list of all the models that Spyderco has made.
Let's have a laugh. Click on Delica.
What's the SKU on Delica?
11.
Yep.
Gen 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, when you
So,
scroll down, it explains the differences in the generations. It looks like there was some overlap with 2 and 3.
interesting. So since 2006. So when I graduated college was 2006 is when I got into knives. And the Delica 4 had just hit the market, and it was the hottest shit in town. It was like every website I went to read knife reviews to talk about the new Delica. And it's still around in the exact same form it was from, what's that, like 17 years ago?
Keep going down until it gives us the chronological order of all the releases.
Oh, you mean
There we
this?
go.
Okay, that's Gen 1,
Yep.
Gen 2, Gen 3. So we're rocking ATS 55 until about 2002. I switched to VG10. And Delica 4 starts off with VG10, and its MSRP in 2006 was $67, which meant it was like a 40-ish, 42 something ish dollar knife probably. And they've stayed around and obviously gone up in price, but look how many versions they have pumped out of this knife.
Yeah, keep going. If you want to collect Delicas, guys, you're going to be here a minute.
Oh, and other variations. So yeah, there's a lot of Delicas and a lot of colors with a lot of steels.
The Dragonfly list looks like this one too.
There's two kind of versions that they're looking for. There's a framed version and there's the FRN version. There's not a lot of the versions that have the steel frame, but Knife Center, exclusive one with the pack of wood scales, it's a totally different feeling knife. So there's a lot. You can go fancy with the Delica. You can get the Freight on Lock carbon fiber one. It's got a steel frame. It feels different. So if you're poo-pooing on a plastic knife, there is a fancier version out there for you. Anyway, I just wanted to share with you guys, if you're ever looking for the history of any knife, like there's knives I've never even heard of before. Like, well, obviously, like what's
a pro
diet?
grip? What's a pro grip?
Pro grip. What number was that?
So the dyad is two blades. Pro grip is like 32.
That's a pro. Ooh, that's kind of a cool looking profile. Hey, handsome looking little knife.
It looks like a big jester.
Yes, it does look like a big jester. But Spidey Wiki is your resource, and I think it's an overlooked website that a lot of people don't know about. But if you want to know a model or when a release came out, there's a lot of things in there that they won't divulge, like run size. They usually won't say how many a sprint run has, but sometimes they do. But it'll tell you what store, what steel, what year, all that good stuff is on SpideyWiki.
We found some typos in there. We found some errors in there, but for the most part, it's pretty accurate.
Jason, are you going to the Maker Syndicate?
I am going to the Makers Syndicate, and I cannot wait.
When is that again?
I must wait, but I cannot wait. It is a Sunday in September. Let's see here. Sunday the 17th of September.
Sunday. Okay, it's coming up. Got 4 weeks.
The list of makers that are attending is pretty badass. The location is badass. It's in Indianapolis, Indiana, in case you didn't know.
Lucky.
I'm excited. I'm definitely excited.
You have a short list, or are you gonna try for anything? Is it lottos? Are you just there to hang out? Is there anything you must want? I think Oz is having 15V
I could see myself falling in love with a Holt because Holt will be there. I could see myself grabbing an Oz if I have the ability to get something that's not been done. I could definitely see myself grabbing a mini Arius because that would be cool. But then there's 15 other knife makers that are all phenomenal. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to meeting those guys, spending some time with some friends. So I believe, gosh, there are guys from the club that are going to be there. They're going to be at the show. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
yeah, I mean, dope.
Oh, yeah. Alex Steingraber is going to be there. I don't have a Lamia yet. So I kind of want a Lamia. Unfortunately, well, is Grimsmo going to be there?
I don't know.
I can't remember
They're
now.
going to come down from the Great White North.
If Grimsmo's there, that would be sweet. I don't need another Rask, but I bet they're better. They're doing some cool shit though. Carl got one recently, Carl Alley, and his is beautiful. Like the Anno stuff they're doing is another level. They're doing stuff where it's like, imagine a knife that's like a creamy gold color, and then it has speckles of like a dark cherry red in it. They found out how to do that with Anno.
Okay.
It's just gorgeous. Yeah. Well, I proxy a Lamia for you. I don't know. For most people, no, but for you, Brandon, it's a maybe. We'll see.
There is one thing though about the idea of proxying at a custom knife show is it's not an easy thing.
It's not easy. Like you have to give me the money in advance and then hope that I give it back to you, because trying to get the money in the moment while I'm standing at the table is really tough.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with a Holt liner lock. I like the way they look better because you don't have the frame lock ruining the lock side. Like they just look better.
And I don't know if it's an issue I'm holds with my hand, but I like liner locks for the fact that you don't have the squeezing on the lock bar issues with the detent pushing in general on a frame lock.
Yeah, it's generally easier to handle. That's for sure. My Lamia with the custom scale should get back to me from the one and only Scott C. Lacey, and I couldn't be more pumped. Absolutely. Liner lock haptic was really good. Yeah, so they've got the haptic, the Morpheus, the Spectre, and now they're the newest model that I cannot remember the name of.
Oh, there's a new one?
Yeah, I believe so.
Ooh. I like the Morpheus. I like the Spectre. The haptics blade kind of throws me off.
Yeah.
But now I've been looking through the buy-sell trade groups, and they're much more affordable than they were not too long ago. Spectres are still pretty expensive.
You ain't lying. There's some good deals on Morpheus and haptic out there.
Yeah. Like really good deals, under table deals. And I was surprised because not too long ago, those were impossible to get, period, knives, regardless of price. And now you can get them. And for, I don't know, I would say I'm done with my collection. Someone got a hold the other day and made me kind of want one. I don't need one though. I don't need it. but I thought about it now.
If you meet the Holts, you would want to buy one of their knives. They couldn't be nicer people. And honestly, everything I know about anodizing, I learned from Angie. I told
Well,
her that at Blade Show, and she was almost embarrassed by that. She was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "You always put the voltage. In fact, sometimes you'll lay 4 knives out and you'll write the
yeah.
voltages next to them." So I'm at home like trying to recreate your work. It was hard, but I'm like, I need my V to look like that V. She's like, "What'd you learn?" I'm like, "I learned that um, it's all about prep." She's like, "That's right." So that was pretty sweet. No thanks. What else is up, Tom?
Well, you're looking fly with your new haircut. I just cut my hair. I'm feeling fresh and clean.
We're
Um,
both looking good.
yeah, I've got green shirts on. Looking great.
I agree.
Um, I kind of piggyback on what I was saying earlier. I quit smoking weed a month ago, and it's probably good timing because I have had some rough mental health time over the last couple weeks. I feel really, really good now, but I had some rough days recently, and I've talked about this before, but I'm doing ketamine therapy again. My mother enabled me to be able to do this again, and I just did it today, and I feel really good. I feel much more centered and out of my head and overthinking stuff. So
This is a doctor prescribed therapy, right? This is not we're
doctor
not going down to
prescribed.
the you're not going down to the Piggly Wiggly and getting it, from
I'm
the
not breaking into the
drug dealer.
veterinarian's office and stealing it from a dog. No, this
Right.
is legal prescribed ketamine therapy, and I did it today, and it worked very well, and I'm feeling very refreshed. And so, if you are experiencing, you know, I have bipolar, I have OCD, I have ADD. My head's a mess, so it's my brain literally when I go into an episode makes noise. Like I can hear it. Like I can hear my brain. And it is the worst feeling I could imagine. And it's very distracting. And Jason's very helpful because a lot of times when I feel this way, I just call Jason. I just talk to him. It's the only thing that I can get out of my head is like to distract myself is to talk to somebody. So just letting you guys know that my life's not perfect by any means. And if you are having any issues, I'm here to talk, you know, bounce ideas off of, let you know what I've been through. So um, I'm just very thankful. Like this with my anniversary and everything, it's just a lot of things lining up and examining my life. And it's in a good place.
It's awesome, man. One thing that's fun for us guys when we're doing these shows is as you're chatting in the chat, sometimes we just have no idea what's going on. And part of me is kind of amused, like this chat. I don't know what that means. I don't know why this guy's crying. So and so wants to join a Benchmade group. Like, okay. You definitely need an anthem. You're not wrong, fuck. Although that knife is janky. It's janky. Got some jank. No. The anthem is definitely a top 3. Pretty funny that they discontinued it. Yeah, I've been there.
Me too.
The brain fog is tough.
Yeah.
Well, Tom, I think we should probably wrap it up. It's kind of a light knife week. Not a lot of knife talk, but I'm looking forward to getting that Vero Synapse XL. Super excited about that. Mini Arius is still definitely on my mind. I need to decide on that one. So, oh, dude, this is some sad news.
Sad news.
Yeah, we missed lasagna night.
Oh, we missed the line. There you go.
I wish I wasn't. I wish I was there, Karen. I would have had some. You'll always be John Redmond to us, Facebook user. Well, kids, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of the show. We're glad you guys could be here. Next week, we'll be back with more exciting news. Well, hopefully we'll have some damn knives to show off. But thanks for being a part of the group. Thank you for being in the community. And we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.